Welcome to The Hypnotist, the show that gives you inside access to cutting-edge hypnosis with real clients facing genuine issues. Brought to you by the hypnotherapist demanded by celebrities, CEOs, and even royalty, Adam Cox. These recordings took place live from Adam's clinic in London's world-famous Harley Street. This podcast features powerful hypnosis, so do not listen while driving or operating machinery. This recording is not suitable for those with epilepsy or severe mental health issues. So, get yourself comfortable and enjoy today's episode of The Hypnotist.
Hi, it's Adam here, and in this episode of The Hypnotist, because it is New Year's Day at the time where I record this, I thought I would do a very short podcast episode about what I've noticed to be the popular resolutions. And this tends to be quite a busy time of year for me because a lot of people have attempted resolutions, goals, and changes in the past. They haven't got the level of success or the change that they wanted. And therefore, having a hypnotherapist on their team can definitely improve the probability that they achieve the kind of goals that they're looking for. So I thought it might be helpful just to share with you the seven key themes of resolutions that typically people make around this time of year. And the number one resolution that people make at this time of year is to improve their physical health. And I'm going to include a few things in there. So that could include losing weight. It could be a resolution or an intention to eat healthier. Maybe it's to go to the gym more and exercise regularly. Or maybe it's to follow quite a specific diet. That might be keto, or it might be Atkins or paleo or intermittent fasting. But for a lot of people, we can kind of cluster and chunk that down into the overall resolution of improving physical health. The second most popular resolution tends to be linked to finances. And that might be to spend less, to be more diligent and responsible with money. It might be to start saving for a specific purchase, maybe a new car, a new home. It might be to pay off debt, which is a very good thing to do, by the way, because in the game of wealth, it's all about compounding. And if you have debts, the interest is kind of compounding against you. And if you have assets, the compounding is working for you. So paying off debts, particularly high interest debts, is a very smart move. Or it might be to start investing or learning how to invest. Just as a side note here, a couple of years ago, I spent a lot of time creating a course called Hypnotic Wealth that deals with all these kind of money issues related to psychology. It's all linked to fears and belief systems and the perceptions of risk. So if you have got the resolution to make changes regarding money, I'll put a link in the show notes because that might be helpful for you. The third resolution that tends to be quite popular is to improve mental health. And that could be anything from reducing stress to becoming more mindful or generally improving work-life balance. And with the clients that I work with, that typically isn't the main reason they want to work with me. It just becomes a positive side effect of resolving other issues. If you've got a traumatic memory, if you've got feelings of guilt, that tends to give a lot more stress and less emotional well-being anyway. You resolve generally the root cause and then the symptoms naturally change. A lot of people at this time of year want to learn a new skill or a hobby. A few years ago, I decided to learn Portuguese, and doing it for a few minutes per day has now got me to a level where I can have a conversation in Portuguese. It's not the kind of thing that you can learn in a week or a few days. It does take time. So therefore, something like hypnotherapy can help with things like motivation, consistency, diligence. This year, I'm making the intention to learn how to read music and use music editing software. So rather than using other people's music for my hypnosis backdrops, I actually create my own hypnosis. So I've got things like a loop station and a MIDI keyboard and all this kind of stuff that I don't know how to use yet, but that's my intention to learn it this year. So it might be that you want to learn something new, maybe a martial art, maybe, let's say, something like a language or some different kind of practice that would be helpful for you. The fifth, I would say, popular resolution is all about habits. And it tends to be quitting unhealthy habits. So you could link this to improving physical health, but most people would look at it as a resolution in and of itself. A lot of people want to stop smoking. A lot of people want to either drink less alcohol or quit alcohol. I had a consultation call yesterday with someone that wants to rapidly and radically reduce their screen time. So if you have a desire to, let's say, change some of these unhealthy or unproductive habits, I would recommend you try it yourself first, because not everyone needs a hypnotherapist to help them. But just know that if you do attempt to make any of these resolutions and you can't quite get the outcome that you're looking for, that doesn't mean that you can't do it. It might just mean that we need a different strategy, or to release some kind of block, or to change a belief system. And then when you try it again, suddenly you get the result you're looking for. Resolution number 6 is all about improving relationships. And that might be to improve the relationship with your romantic partner. It might be to spend more quality time with family or friends, or to improve communication skills. And humans are very social creatures. You don't find many hermits living on their own in the forest. They congregate around other people because that social connection is so important for us as humans. So if you're making the resolution to improve relationships, then it can link to emotional triggers. A lot of people are triggered by the people they're closest to because they know what buttons to press. And sometimes just making those buttons not work anymore can radically improve personal relationships. So worth considering that. And then the final one is people make the resolution to either get organized or to increase productivity. And it might be that this last year you've been procrastinating a lot. You've been putting stuff off. Maybe you don't know where to start with certain things, in which case that could be a good resolution to set for 2025. In all of these cases, I can think of numerous examples of clients that I've worked with to help them make changes. And the great thing is, you don't have to make a change just on January the 1st. You can make any of these changes at any point in the year. But if you are thinking of making a change like this around about this time of year, then having a hypnotherapist that has worked with people in these areas before could give you an edge. And one of the key things that I look at is the opportunity cost. If you get the outcome that you're looking for based on trial and error and trying different approaches, but it takes you 2 or 3 years to make that change, what could that cost you financially? What could that cost you from a health perspective? What could it cost you in relationships? And just to get the outcome quicker, even if you're paying someone like me to help you, may be worth it if the time it saves you gives you additional resources that you can deploy in different areas. I remember working with a Scottish client who was drinking a lot and smoking a lot from mid-teens all the way into his 30s. And we calculated that on average, the amount that he had spent on alcohol and cigarettes could have been enough for him to have got a deposit for his own home. And for him, the idea of owning his own home was always out of the question. He could never build a deposit without realizing that he had the ability to build that deposit if he looked at it in a different way. So there is a big opportunity cost to making the right change later on than you could have. And that's worth bearing in mind. So you've probably heard quite a few of my podcast episodes. Most of them feature real clients, real situations. You'll know that I protect the confidentiality of the clients that I work with. You're only hearing my voice. But if you like the idea of working with me in 2025, there is a particular offer that I'm making, but this is more for people that want to make big changes. So I did a discount offer for Black Friday where I was offering people 20% off. I'm not doing that now because January is a very busy period for me. But if you like the idea of working with me, I am willing to honor that 20% off discount for 10 sessions or more. So that would give us, at an average of 1 session per month, almost a year's worth of sessions together. And it's highly likely we're going to make a lot of progress over that time. So if that appeals to you, click the link in the show notes. I can talk more about that offer. If you've already had a free consultation call with me, I do only offer 1 free consultation call. You can just book the sessions, and if you use the code 20% off, so 20, the percent sign, and then OFF, so 20% off for 10 or 20 sessions, that will give you the 20% discount, which is already a better rate because you're buying more sessions. So if that's of interest, either buy the sessions online, there'll be a link in the show notes, or you can schedule a free consultation call if you haven't had one already. That's me checking off for now. So again, a very happy new year. I really hope that 2025 is a great year for you. And the fact that you're listening to hypnosis through a podcast probably means that you're going to have a bit of an edge anyway this next year. Whether you work with me directly or not, to me isn't the most important thing. What's really important is that what I offer to the world in terms of these recordings or working with people is having an impact, having some kind of value. So whatever your goals, intentions, or changes you want to make, wishing you the best of luck in achieving them. So Happy New Year again, and you'll be hearing again from me very soon in a future episode. You take care.
Thank you for listening to The Hypnotist with Adam Cox, the show that gives you inside access to cutting-edge hypnosis with real clients facing genuine issues. To automatically receive the latest episodes, please subscribe. If you'd like to support the show, please share this episode with just one friend you think it could help. And if this episode helped you, please leave us a 5-star review.